Good morning. I hope everybody's still asleep. It's 4:10 a.m. So I'm up. Got up at 3:45. I'm headed to Atlanta. And this is a Monday morning inspirational talk number 11. And I'll do these as long as, people are liking them. So, probably going to talk about a couple things. So I want to talk about, knives, the knife community, and just knives in general. We, growing up, and I've said this before, I had a knife. We had knives in school. We didn't have shootings in school. We might have a fist fight every now and then. Even the girls got in fights sometimes. And those were the best ones, actually. But one common thread, it seemed like, back in those days, was everybody had a pocket knife, and we could carry the pocket knives to school. I was in the Boy Scouts, and everybody had a knife there. Going to hunting camp, everybody had a knife. You had a knife. If you were a teenager, you had a knife. You had a sheath knife. You had a pocket knife. Your dad had a knife. Your uncle had a knife. And it was always funny because if somebody brought a deer back into camp, one of the first things that you would notice, or I would notice, was what kind of knife was that? What kind of knife is he gonna process that deer with? What kind of knife is he gonna skin that deer with? And I was always watching. I was always watching the men, the older men, men that were, grown, the dads, the uncles, the papaws, whatever. I was always watching them, watching what knife they pulled out, really watching them close. And so, I would say a knife is to me is a historical thing. It's it's not just a tool to me. It's not just a piece of artwork to me. It's not just something that I have in my pocket right now. I could honestly say it's a historical thing to me. It's a knife is something that in the Scouts, we'd sit around the fire and everybody'd pull their knife out and they'd get them a stick and whittle around on it, not really make nothing, but just kind of whittle and talk and say, hey, can I see your knife? What kind of knife you got? And it seems like it's always a thing that kind of bonds you together. And as weird as it is to say, I think it is that because I think it's a common thread. Maybe not as much today, but I do see the knife culture. It does seem like it's alive and well. Even with the young guys, because I'm still contracted for a power company, and so we get new apprentices, and one thing they all have in common when they come walking in is they got a knife. Most of them have, a folder, with a pocket clip, and that's fine. That's what they like. That's what I've got most days. I've got my Benchmade. But they've got some kind of a knife on them, and you stand back and watch them, and they use them. Oh, excuse me, folks. I don't mean to yawn, but boy, it's early. But I'm having to drive slow through here because there's a lot of deer and stuff. So, but it's like the knife bonds people, and maybe y'all think that's silly, but I see it now. I mean, I see it now. I'm part of a knife community. YouTube, Instagram. We have a live knife show on Saturday nights. Big J, Boston, and they have a guest, and we all gather around. I guess you could say we all kind of gather around the campfire, and we watch and listen. You know, we comment. You know, I was even sitting at a restaurant, you know, Saturday evening trying to listen and watch and comment. But you know, it's really a common thread, a bond, I guess you would say, that kind of bonds people together, where you have things in common, you have something in common. You know, and I think about a lot of the knife guys that I've met online, that I've actually never met, you know, face to face, but I you know, I feel like I have. I feel like I've you know, I feel like I know these guys, you know, and it's you know, all because of a knife, you know, all because of just something as small as a knife, just that we all like and enjoy, and we enjoy talking about and gather. We gather on Saturday nights. We gather on YouTube. We watch each other's videos. We support their YouTube channel. You know, we even got ladies involved in it. You know, my wife, she actually enjoys the knife community. Erica, Big J's wife, you know, they you know, they're part of it, and you know, it's pretty cool, because it's something that's been in the, I guess you could say, the fabric of my life, you know, ever since I was very young. Just having a knife in your pocket, how it you know, gives you a bond, or gives you a common thread with people. You know, I used to work with a guy that he you know, he would go to flea markets, and he would buy case knives, and he would bring them in, and he would sell them at work. You know, good, you know, pretty good price, but he would sell them. You know, we was always looking forward to Monday morning to see what he had. You know, see what kind of knife he had in his knife roll, and I bought a couple from him. Now the other guy, he you know, he bought and sold knives. You know, we traded knives back and forth back in them days, and you know, it's just it's funny to sit and really think about that. It's just a common thread that brings people together. A knife, just a tool that we use. You know, we carry in our pockets. It just, you know, seems like it bonds people together. I go to a restaurant, I go to a barbecue place, Johnny's Barbecue, and you know, I talk to the guy that owns it, Rick, and he, you know, he's a case knife dealer, and I talked to him, and I talked to his son. We start talking about knives, and he has the case, you know, collector's thing once a year. The case does, and you know, I try to buy a knife from him here and there, because I want to support, you know, his business. You know, and he sells Carhartt shirts, and of course I wear Carhartt shirts, and hats, and you know, but he's got a big selection of knives. So I always go in there and look. And, you know, I want to make sure I support him, because he's a knife guy, and he's, of course, his barbecue is excellent, and it's just one of them places that me and my wife we frequent. Pretty cool to go in there and order you a plate of food, and you got case knives everywhere. But you know, it's just amazing to me how something small as a knife in your life that it just bonds you together with people. Kind of like firearms, guns. Guns are the same way. But I actually think that knives maybe are a little more, maybe bond you to people a little bit more. Because like I said, growing up, I always watched people. And I do it now. I see a guy with I look and I see him with especially a new guy that comes in, I see him with a pocket clip knife in a folder, a modern folder, and I'll ask him, what kind of knife you got there? And he'll, I got a so-and-so, or I got an old cheap blah, 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 or, just whatever. And I've actually got a knife maker that I work with, Red Beard Blades, and he's a crew leader, and he makes knives, really nice fixed blade knives, Red Beard Blades. But I see these guys making knives and all, and I'm drawn to them, because to me it's an art. It's just a form of art to me, creating something like that. Got some leather guys, got Richter, he creates leather stuff. J.O., Kent Smith, they all make something with their hands that is centered around knife. Man, that guy couldn't see him. That's centered around, a knife, your knives, the knife community, whether it's a sheath or it's a pocket slip, things like that. It's just something that bonds us together. So, I really enjoy the knife community, and like I said, it's more than just having a knife. It's just a good way to bond with people. And I've talked about the knife community several times, but I feel like I'm with the salt of the earth. I feel like I'm with people that's like me. Yeah, we're all different, but we all share a lot of common things. We all share a lot of common things, a lot of things that bond us together. And even though we've never met face to face, there's a lot of these guys that I feel like that they're my friends. They're my friends, and I see them on YouTube and I see them on Instagram. But I feel like they're my friends. I got my sister Erica. I feel like she's just a good friend. She's a lot younger than I am. I call her I tell my wife that's our adopted daughter right there. But it's just something that to me has really made me step back here in the last few months and look at the knife community and look at the knife lifestyle. I'm gonna carry a knife. I'm gonna carry a knife every day. As long as I'm walking around on the earth. I'm dead and gone, won't be no knives, but I'm gonna carry a knife till I'm dead. So it's just a common bond, and I really enjoy the knife community. I think we got a good bunch of people. Once in a while, you'll get a snarky person in there, and they don't hang around too much. But that's just a normal part of it. I don't get too involved with it. Just let them say what they want to say, and then move on. But yeah, I just think our knife community is great. And I just wanted to tell everybody that. And you really step back and think about carrying a knife. Carrying a knife is more. It's funny because it's more than just carrying a knife. It's more than just having a sharp tool on you. It's just a lot more to it. It's funny how a knife can bond people together, you know. It's funny how a knife can make men gather around a campfire or just gather around a barbecue joint and just talk about knives, you know. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty cool. Another thing, you know, I was in, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit. I was in Dolphin Island, Alabama, down on the coast of Alabama at the beach, and you know, and I'm standing there, and my granddaughters are with me, and you know, you stand there and you look at that ocean, and you know, I think maybe we don't think about it like we should, but it's funny how, you know, every day, you know, that tide comes in and that tide goes out. You know, that ocean's there. You know, that ocean's there every day. Same way, you know, water may be a little colder, or seaweed may be coming in or going out or whatever, but that ocean comes in and goes out every day. Just like the sun comes up and it goes back down, you know, day and night. And it never changes. Every day it does the same thing. And the ocean supports fish that we eat. A lot of life in the ocean that we eat and we rely on. So, you know, that wind, breeze blowing, and also we take things like that for granted because it's just something that is, I guess, simple to us. And, you know, I give it all to the Creator. The credit all to the Creator, the one that created it. He makes sure that it comes in and goes out. He makes sure that we have everything we need on this earth. Jesus fed 5,000 with the fishes. He feeds us. I mean, he feeds us with that ocean. And you would think that with as many people as we have on this planet, that we would run out of food. You know, I believe that as long as God lets us live here and stay here, that he's going to provide what we need. He's going to provide what we need. He's going to have us plenty of water, you know, whether it's a river, the ocean, or whatever. We're going to have what we need, and he's going to make sure of it. So, you know, that I was just thinking, that was a thought I was having while I was standing there about waist deep in the ocean, you know, watching my granddaughters, you know, play around and stuff. That might be insignificant to a lot of people, but it's not to me. It's something that's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. So I hope y'all have a great week. Headed on into Atlanta. And get my day started. Hope y'all have a great week. If you like this video, I appreciate a comment. Appreciate a like, appreciate a follow, appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell. And y'all, please be safe out there. Be safe, be sharp, keep your blade sharp. God bless you.